Hey YouTube. If you live in like a smaller town like I do, then you would know that Marley hair is kind of hard to come by. I've only bought it one time now, and I made an updo with it and I liked it. But in my town, it ranges from the cheapest I've seen it was $5.99. So I've seen it like $5.99, $6.99, and $7.99, which to me is too much to pay for hair. So I am going to attempt to make my own Marley hair. So one, I hardly can ever find it in my color. The one pack that I did buy, I was able to find in a color number 4, but I hardly am able to find that. I find like like the more exotic type colors, the ones that are like 1B mixed with like a blonde color, and I'll find like the 1B and the 2B, but never anything in like the number 4 range. So for the purpose of this experiment, I bought some regular braid hair. This one is 1B and 30. Okay, and I bought this because it has 2 separate colors. I don't intend on using this in my hair because the dark part is too dark and the lighter part is fine. So this is 1B mixed with 30. But I bought this so that I can test this out and see if it works. If it works, then because they didn't have any number 4 in the store when I went, but if it works, then I will be able to change this number, this 99-cent hair, into Marley hair, which normally costs me $6 to $8 in my town. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it on the pack. I'm going to find something to attach this to. And what I'm going to do is I have some pipe cleaners over here. And I'm going to use those to make a set on this hair. I'm just going to pull out a color that's light enough to see against the hair. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this yet. I imagine braids might work too, but first I'm going to just take a piece about this big. I'm going to fold my pipe cleaner in half. Okay. Just going to hook it around here like this. And I'm going to do a figure 8 all the way down. Okay. I could probably do this thinner. I could probably do it thicker. So this will probably be able to, you'd probably be able to customize this based on your hair pattern. Okay. Just get a little closer. It's going to be awkward from this position, but I'm trying to do this upside down for the camera. Okay. Just going to push it down real tight. And this is what I have so far. Okay. And I'm going to keep going until I have this whole length of hair down on top of this pipe cleaner. If I run out of pipe cleaner, I'm going to take another one out and continue. But I'm going to try to get it up in there as tight as possible to hopefully use one pipe cleaner per section. So I guess this would be good, especially if you have different hair textures, because I'd say most of the Marley hair looks like type 3 or type 4 hair. So I guess if you have a looser type 3 hair or type 2 hair, Marley hair ain't gonna work out for you because the curl pattern is usually too kinky to blend in with other types of hair. Okay, so I'm just going to show you where my progress is right now. Okay, and I'm going to continue, and then I'll come back to show you the next step. Okay, so these are the ones that I wound up doing. I wound up taking that apart and doing that figure eight. I put two pipe cleaners together and did the figure eight down. As you can see, there's lots of hair left over, but this is just for trials. I did one braid. I don't do braid outs on myself because I don't like taking down the braids. I did a 2-strand twist, and I had it tight, but it doesn't hold very well, so it came a little loose, but I'm still going to do that one. And this one I did kind of like, you know how you do the yarn wraps? I did the hair like that around the pipe cleaner. So what I'm going to go do now is dip it in hot water. Okay, so I did the 4 separate examples of how to twist it up or braid it or whatever. I dipped it in water. It was actually about 30 seconds. I meant to do it for about 10 or 15, but it took me a minute to get my towel ready, you know, so I wouldn't burn myself. So I'm going to take them down. I wound up clipping off the straight ends on some of them. Like, I don't know, because it was just easier to dip. This one I'm guessing is going to be my least favorite. This is the regular 2-strand twist. Okay. And I'm not trying to preserve, like, as far as frizziness goes, I don't really care. Because if we talking Marley hair, you know, we want the hair to look closer to our type of hair. Whatever kind of hair you have. Okay. So this might work for a type 2 or a looser type 3 person. So this is what the 2-strand twist looks like. And this is actually what a 2-strand twist would look like in my hair. But as far as, I guess if I did my hair in a 2-strand twist out, this would match it. Or it would match somebody with type 2 or 3 hair, not in a twist out. Okay. Next one I'm going to look at is the braids. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take that down. I might have to pause it depending on how long it takes. I hate taking down braids. I didn't share hair at the end on purpose to try to make it easier. But you know what it's like taking out skinny braids. And this is still just a little bit wet, which is fine. You know, when you have this braid hair like this, I don't know what kind of hair it is. Kanekalon or whatever. I don't know. I didn't even look at the pack. But, you know, once you dip it in the hot water, all it has to do is cool off, and then you can take it down. You don't have to worry about it being dry like you do for like a twist out or braid out. So far, so good. Okay. I wish I could just like pull a piece and make it come out like a twist, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I'm going to take this about halfway down. Just good enough to see what it looks like. Oh, wait a minute now. I'm able to get a little bit of that out at once. So, okay. This is the braided section. Okay, next one I'm taking out is the figure 8. Okay, I already took the bobby pins and stuff off the ends of these. Because I put bobby pins on the ends just to... This one I twisted up at the end. So this one is like 2 pipe cleaners. The hair was done in a figure 8 all the way down. A figure 8 between the 2 pipe cleaners. So see what I can do to expedite this. I don't think there's no expediting. I can see that the pipe cleaner wasn't damaged. So I didn't, like, this is bright orange, but it didn't like leave any particles in the hair. So that's good. I could say one tip is to, you know, be careful not to share any strands because it just makes it harder taking out. But so far, so good. Okay, I'm gonna take this part of the way down so that I'll know which is which when I get, you know, when I compare them here in a second. When I compare all 4 of them together. Okay. And I imagine these sections can be made bigger or smaller, would probably make a big difference in what it looks like. These didn't take me that long. What I did is I took like a rubber band, you know, the rubber band portion, put it on my toe like you do if you're doing macrame, you know, to hold it still while I, you know, did the braids or twist or whatever. Trying to get just a little bit more of this section down so you can have a nice sampling of what it looks like. Impressed. Definitely impressed. Great so far. Wait till you see this. Ah. Okay. All right. Okay. Last one is the one that was kind of like yarn wraps. This hair was just a little too long, so I wound up going back up the ends. Okay, so I went to the end as far as I could, and when I couldn't go any further, I went back up this way and then just bend it down to pin it. Okay, so I'm just going to get the end of this undone, and this one should unravel rather easily because it's not so much of a twist. It's just like a, I don't know, a wrap or coil. And again, I'm going to take this one about halfway down. The 2-strand twist one I had to take all the way down. It wasn't going to stay anyway. That one was kind of hard to get it because I actually twisted. You know how when you twist it and then you pull it tight to make it go up? I did that, but when I got to the end, it just unraveled. This hair is not it's not curly by nature, so this stayed in that coil. Okay, so let me try to pull that out just a little bit. Pull the strands apart to see what it looked like loose, but it stayed in the coil just like a straw set or coil out or what I mean, or whatever you call them, finger coils or whatever. I'm gonna take it down, see what the hair looks like. This mimics like a type 4, kind of 4A, I would say, because it's a pretty defined pattern, but it still is maintaining its kinky properties. Uh-oh, got tangled. This is what I'm talking about when I say be careful here. So I got a little bit tangled, but the good thing is this is not growing out of my head, so if something go wrong with it, you ain't got to start over. Okay, that's the wrap one. So, I got my Marley hair that I had purchased from the store next to me. I think this was $6 or $7. Okay, this is type 4. It's not, I've only used it maybe once or twice. I'd say it looks like type 4 hair. And this was color number 4, but like I said, I can barely find this color in the store. Let's start with the 2-strand twist. This is the homemade DIY versus the Marley hair. Homemade Marley hair. Okay. So next, go with the braid out. Braid out Marley hair. Okay, actually decently close. I imagine if the braids were smaller, it would look more like this one. This is the figure 8. Okay. The DIY figure 8, the Marley hair. And this is the coil one. This is the coil one. Okay, and Marley hair. So let me know what you think. DIY Marley hair, save me a bunch of money. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I just wanted to revisit these real quick. This is the 2-strand twist. This is the braid out. This is the figure 8. And this is the wraps, the coil out. And now they're almost, they fluffed out quite a bit. So the figure 8 and the braid out are pretty close to the same. And both of those, I would say, most closely mimic this hair. I'm not saying either one is better than the other, but let's say my hair had been twisted, or let's say it's not blown out, my hair would look closer to this. So it would look closer to this braid out or this figure eight thing. So I'm talking about saving between $5 and $7 each pack. So I would say this is a good DIY product. The braid out really didn't take that long, and as you can see, like, these have actually completely blended together now. So the braid out and the figure eight have pretty much completely blended together, and the braid really didn't take that long to get it down to the bottom. Dip it 15 seconds and then you're good to go. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you try this out. Let me know how it works for you.